Greetings, sir and sirettes, and welcome back to Stellaris with me, Lathrix, and of course, welcome back to the Toad Trading Team. In today's video, we have two goals, the first of which is to research at least one megastructure and get it built. Upon doing that, we can unlock galactic wonders, which means we can build our ring worlds, our Dyson Spheres, and pretty much everything else we want, which will bring us true happiness. Our second goal is just to continue trying to research up, so that when the endgame crisis arrives, we are able to fight back somewhat effectively. At least, perhaps we can get to that point. That is certainly a bit of a stretch goal, but still. But first, what we need to do is start building yet another habitat. I do have the resources to do so. Though saying that, we're going to need that influence for the Science Nexus. Or the Mega Art installation. Probably the Science Nexus, so actually no, never mind. Until we have the Science Nexus at least started, no more habitats, which is a really weird thing to say in this empire. And I've just realised I can now activate Scientific Revolution, giving us plus 20% research speed and plus 1 research alternatives. Although I could do one of the others instead. This one's really fantastic, plus 50% to our Megastructure build speed. I might actually go with this and just wait. I do really want that Science Nexus. That'll, when it's fully finished, will give us a passive, I think it's like plus 15% research speed, along with giving us loads of base research by itself. So, might leave that as well. Okay, yep, gonna leave that. We'll get the Science Nexus fairly soon anyway, so it's just gonna be micromanaging our many habitats. I also still need to fully upgrade our fleet. It is currently underway, but we do need more resources for other stuff as well. Okay, other than that, just continuing on, I'll be back when something interesting happens. Oh yeah, that's the other thing I want to do. I still want to try and become the only member of the Galactic Council. At the moment, we're nowhere near that level, since we have to beat everyone else to do that, but perhaps we can do it before the end of the game. That would be pretty darn fantastic as a stretch goal. Our fellow Federation member has just called an emergency meeting of the Senate for Charter of Worker Rights. Plus 20% diplomatic weight from populations, that's going to be really good for us in the future, and actually it's good right now. Plus 5% worker happiness, plus 10% worker political power. Well, we are egalitarian, so yeah, that is just good for us in general. We're absolutely fine with that.
Unfair competition.
We've also found the Scavenger, which I'm tempted to try and destroy with our Federation fleet, because you can get some insane stuff from that. If I press this, can I... Yep, I can escape. I'll then teleport over there in a second. Do I send my forces over there? Once they're upgraded, yeah, I do want the stuff from that Leviathan.
Upscaling complete.
Also, we need more refinery habitats, so this one will eventually become one of those. We need more crystals more than anything. Just everything costs crystals for us. We have our mining stations, we have our crystal stations soon. We're gonna have
Research
everything.
actualized.
In terms of our economy, we are doing really well. Other than a few rare resources, we're very balanced, and even then, it's so few in the negative, it's not really a big deal. For now, of course, things are going to get more and more insane over time, but for now, it's normal-ish. Wait. Collapse spire... Did I not... Well, apparently I'm a dum-dum. I didn't clear the collapse spire first. I cleared everything else. How on earth did I manage that? I could have sworn that I removed the collapse spire. Well, this world's about to get some free research jobs and some bonus research, so that's good at least. Could have been having that the entire time, but apparently, yep, I am a dum-dum. I know, this comes as a huge shock to many people. Although this does cost a fair bit of influence, we do have will to power at the moment, which means we're getting plus 12 influence per month. And I really want more of these branch offices. Because we can have more corporate embassies, increasing our diplomatic weight from economy by 10% each and every time. This is how we're going to stack diplomatic weight. Find every world with at least 25 people on, like this one. Make a branch office, make an embassy. Everyone will know of our glorious corporation. And everyone will buy our stuff. Or be took over in a rather unpleasant way. We really do need more alloys. At the moment, we are making a lot of energy, which thankfully means we can buy a lot of alloys, since alloys are no longer as super expensive as they used to be in previous patches. Not sure why this is. What I think it is that other empires now are a bit better at actually making their own resources, so they're not constantly buying from the market, so the price isn't super inflated, which means you can actually buy some, which is great. But we do need more alloys because I'm about to start putting down our third galactic wonder. Well, our third megastructure. Over here, we're building the mega shipyards. Over here, we're building the science nexus, and as soon as we have 300 influence, I'm going to start building the coordination center. Though, not here, obviously, since I have no spare planets. Maybe in the homeworld? Yeah, we can do that as soon as we remove this. Goodbye. And then next month, when we have 300 influence, we can start building the coordination center.
War declared.
Who are we attacking? The Galactic Confederation. I don't even know who that is. Oh, they're actually in a federation. They're called Federation, but also in a federation. I really don't want to fight these, but I'm thinking we'll have to anyway. Because our other member might say yes. No, it failed. Fantastic. Great. I do not want to fight those at all. We gain nothing from this. Well, my ally gains something, which is good overall. We do have a Federation fleet strong enough to deal with them, but I just don't particularly want to. Or particularly, if I can use my words. There we are. And then the coordination center can begin as well. Okay, now the despoilers I will allow you to fight. Do I need to send in the Federation fleet? Yeah, I kinda do. Yeah, my own personal fleet will be destroyed here, or at least take far too much damage. Spent some influence on research grants, and I sold everything to buy some more alloys, so very soon we can begin construction of the Science Nexus. And even level 1 apparently increased our research speed by 5%. I did not know that. I thought it only gives you the bonus at the very end. Well, I'm very happy with an extra 5% research.
Research actualized.
Thank you. We don't really have that much research in terms of raw resource, but we have a lot of modifiers. We're getting plus 112, plus 105. I've seen better, but I've also seen far, far worse. So, we're doing okay, and once again, our economy is also very good, and we are scaling very well, which is a big deal. So we're going to continue to get more and more powerful. Now you need more of everything, so let's try and make these people a bit happier, shall we? Let's go with Hollow Theatres and a City District. That'll keep them happy. You obviously just need some more clerks. We need more amenities on our planets. That's one thing we are struggling with a little bit. The Science Nexus begins. And that is building very quickly, at least for this type of thing. And that's because, of course, we have this over here giving us plus 50%. Then we have the Tradition giving us an additional plus 50%. Still kind of slow, though. The other two are also now ready. So as soon as I have the resources, I can start off with the other two sites. I just wanted to put them down, this way we already have sort of paid the deposit. We can start them whenever we have the resources or we need to. We don't have to wait for the first stage to be built. Playing very, very reactively there. Can we not put down housing yet? No, we can't, can we? So apparently, in an upcoming patch to Stellaris, you will be able to do other things with habitats once you have Voidborn. It doesn't only just give you 2 districts, it also gives you other research options. I'm not quite sure what they do, but apparently we played the wrong empire at the wrong time there. Need to look into that a bit more anyway. What do I do with our homeworld? I think it's about time now, sadly, that we're just going to have to start getting people off the habitat. Of course, that's going to be the point of the ring worlds, because they can take hundreds upon hundreds of people every single section. So all those droids we're building, all the people we're growing, that's a weird way of saying that.
Research
Our
actualized.
normal population growth can be moved on over consistently to the ring worlds, and then our ring worlds are going to be very powerful very quickly. I'm just hoping the endgame crisis doesn't spawn straight away. So we have a little bit of time to get all that set up. And saying that, in the future, once again in that patch, we're going to have the ability to have the endgame crisis set to, I think, times 25? Currently the max is just times 5. Yeah, if I do that, I'm gonna have the whole game play out a little bit longer because the enemy are gonna be multi-millions of fleet power for their lesser fleets. And I think tech rushing is gonna be the only viable option there. Probably have it set to the defaultier, but times 25 difficulty. Something like that anyway. More crystals, we demand more crystals. Also more gases at this rate. So I'm not sure when it happened. It probably is partially a result of the fact we have so many half species because of one of our traits. But now our machines outnumber our organics. At least in terms of being the highest population species we have. Look how many different types of species we have. Also, we can upgrade our robots again. If I give them a negative, let's say, one which I don't really care too much about, like negative experience. Nope, we're out of trait points. Just trying to think, what would I really want with this? Currently, less housing, less upkeep, and they're being built faster, but they're not giving us anything extra. We do have loads of them. Could have extra research, happiness, just plus 5% from all jobs. There's a lot we could do there. So what I'm thinking is, keep those two, slow down production slightly, add a negative, like, again, the leadership one, and then plus 5% from jobs. So they're being built 15% slower now, but at the same time they're producing plus 5% resources. They're also a bit dumber when it comes to the whole leadership thing. But still, plus 5% resources from so many of them, and we are continuing to build loads, even with that slowdown. I think it's going to be worth it. Also, still need to name those robots, so suggestions in the comments. I've seen quite a few good suggestions so far, but I haven't yet decided on one. Also going to grab that, so we can grab this. And we really should just go ahead and grab these finally.
Actualized.
More strikecraft. Speaking about repeatable sciences, this right here, the admin efficiency, increasing our admin cap, the repeatable, which used to be the repeatable. It allowed you to become a wide empire with excellent science, but of course now we have jobs, which can allow you to affect your empire sprawl, not allow your admin cap. I thought this was going to be worthless now, purely because what's the point in it when we can just have jobs doing the same thing? Well, the thing is, those buildings are horrible. The admin parks and the level 1 version, they cost jobs, they cost a building slot, you just don't want them around. So what I'm thinking is if we have enough research and we can start pushing out lots of this, we can start replacing those terrible buildings, those terrible jobs, with something a bit more valuable. Either more research, more money, more alloys, more money, or perhaps even more money. Money! Collective waste management, plus 40% diplomatic weight from economy, truly beautiful. Minus 5% habitability, we don't care. Plus 5% alloys, plus 10% minerals, and plus 5% from all workers. Yes. And thankfully we are by far the most powerful entity in the entire galaxy right now, so that's going to happen. Also, a lot of my envoys have now been moved out of here, and yet we're still increasing with our diplomatic weight.
Research actualized.
And we can always put the envoys back later, if needs be. So now I'm being very aggressive when it comes to putting down more branch offices. That one there is about to get 25 population, this one has. Give me full control through our embassies. Okay, and you'll be the next one as soon as the month ticks over. Currently I'm not spending influence on habitats, so I have spare influence. Time to flex it. Our Science Nexus should be finishing off yet in just 1 year's time, so I can then start the next level of it. I could start one of the others soon as well, but I think I want to do that first. I am focusing on increasing our alloy production at the moment, so that should become a little bit easier to continue. We are a little bit further behind than I would like. We're doing well, in fact we're doing really well, but because the endgame crisis is so early in this run, it is still fairly difficult. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I need to upgrade this one so I can add one more trade hub so I can grab the trade value from this world. Also, if I put down a station here, that'll stop pirates, and that can become a new anchorage. So here's one thought. With our rising unemployment, what we could do is change our living standards from an already respectable social welfare to utopian abundance. Utopian abundance increases happiness by an additional 10% for everyone. It does increase the amount of consumer goods they consume, but unemployed populations have normal happiness and produce unity and research points. I don't think I'm going to go with that just yet, but it is definitely something we can do in the future if unemployment becomes more of a problem. Rank 1 of the Science Nexus Hub is now online, and it looks
Upscaling complete.
really tiny. And I need to keep on buying alloys as soon as they reach their normal value, which is about 8,000 per 2,500. We buy them, then we wait, then we buy them, then we wait. So that'll all need to be upgraded as soon as that's finished. Annoyingly as well, we can't get to the scavenger bot anymore because they've closed their borders on us. I mean, we could jump it, I think, but not really worth the effort. And when you jump, you're weaker for a while as well.
Actualized.
Also, I did eventually go back and realise that my robots were not being upgraded correctly, so yeah, they are now fully upgraded. Resources from jobs is currently in effect. Going to start building some exclusive retreats. Sorry, executive retreats, rather. These will increase the amenities on all of our planets by 10%. Underdeveloped system utilization. Observation posts provide consumer goods whilst observing or infiltrating primitive civilizations. We don't particularly care about that, but with the modifiers, plus 15% trade value. Plus 15% bureaucrat upkeep, we do not care about that, that's not even that bad. Plus 60% diplomatic weight from economy. And I have even less of our envoys currently over in the galactic community, and we're about to hit 30k with our diplomatic weight. We are increasing in power very quickly now. Oh no, the housing is now a problem here, darn it. So yeah, so 2 of our habitats are pretty much done with now. Thankfully, we have some really decently sized worlds, so it's not really too much of an issue. We can just move everyone over to those. Not too much of a problem, just annoying more than anything, really. Just something else to micromanage. Now, normally, I don't spend influence on the ruler elections, especially since it's really expensive with our Empire type. But I really want this leader. They're very old, but extra trade value is a passive. In fact, 3 of them have that, but this one here has plus 10% research speed, which is kind of insane. And then extra edict duration as well, overall. As much as Lathir here makes me happy because it's so close to being Lathrix, yeah, plus 10% research speed. I can't say no to that. The Science Nexus research wings are now active, and so is the Mega Shipyard framework. The Science Nexus, though, is definitely the thing we're going to focus on. The final level is now underway. Beautiful. How much for the second level of this, then? Where is it? There it is. Ooh, pretty. And it already has 5 shipyards. Fantastic. And is modifying our ship build speed by plus 33% already. Once it's fully operational, this thing's going to be able to make an entire fleet within just a couple of years. Look how cool it looks as well. I really love this building.
Research actualized.
Look at it spin. The despoilers now only have one world left. Well done to our allies. We didn't really help out this time around. Okay, the Sentinels has been essentially finished now, so once again, feel free to pause the video at any point in order to read it. I have read this before and it would take a very long time.
Situation log revised.
I believe I did cover this one before, but feel free to pause at any point. Hopefully that wasn't too fast. Maybe it was. Testing out people's pausing skills.
Special project actualized.
Making sure to scroll through everything. Well, apparently that one didn't actually give me an option there. That is definitely meant to give me something. Yeah, why is that not giving me... Oh, it's there, look at the top, you can just about see it. We are guardians of the gates to heaven, keepers of our people's transmission. Yeah, heaven, yes, though I doubt your concept of heaven matches that of transmission. God damn it. You know what, we accept your protection. If we try to force them away, I believe they attack us and invade the planet, and they are really powerful, so we accept your protection. Sure. Normally I say no to this. So that's it then. Yeah, I believe that now we have... Yep, Sentinels as a ground force. And that is pretty much that.
Research actualized.
Okay, managed to buy out enough alloys that now we have the Coordination Center, the Mega Shipyard, and the Science Nexus all going at once. Finally, the Ministry of Production. I completely messed up, and I thought I had one of the techs needed to get this, and I thought I was being really unlucky. Turns out, I didn't have the tech. So the Ministry of Production is amazing. It gives you plus 15% from your alloy foundries and plus 15% from your artisans, so that's your consumer goods one. Not that we need that, we have no consumer goods buildings. All of our consumer goods are coming from trade, which is really insane, really. Really, really. Back to building habitats. All that extra influence, all that extra alloys just means way more habitats. Every world will have a habitat. Every last one. Also, we're almost strong enough now to attack the Fallen Empire. That's going to happen very soon. Remember, we do have Galactic Contender, which means we're also doing plus 33% damage to them, which is obviously fantastic. The Mega Shipyard is almost completed on its next phase. The Coordination Center is a fair bit off. What I would like, now I'm thinking about it, is the Assembly. The Interstellar Assembly? Can I make that yet? Is any construction workers not doing anything so I don't accidentally mess up? Okay, good. There it is, the Interstellar Assembly. Yeah, because this now gives you more envoys. More envoys, more, yeah, envoys. I was correct, and I was questioning myself. And more diplomatic weight. So that's definitely what I'm building next, as soon as the
Upscaling complete.
Science Nexus is finished. Really should have been building that rather than the Coordination Center, now I think about it. Hindsight, blah blah blah, 2020. Just a little bit longer, and there we go, the Interstellar Assembly begins. And we can also start the final stage of the Mega Shipyard as well. And now that I have the Science Nexus finished, it means we can go ahead and grab Galactic Wonders. Then we can get the research in order to start building them all. There we are, the Dyson Sphere and the Matter Decompressor. Let's grab those. The Dyson Sphere will give us essentially unlimited energy. Well, about 5,000 energy, which is close to being unlimited in this game, really. Well, kind of is. Depends how greedy you are. And I am pretty greedy. With that though, I'm afraid I am all out of time for today's video. Things are looking good for us. We're having almost all of the megastructures built. We are now on 8k research. We have plus 709 alloys, and everything is just looking really good for the Empire. The endgame crisis has not yet spawned, which isn't really a surprise. It would have been the bare minimum amount of time. I think the longest I've ever played a game like this with the endgame crisis set to this year is something like 2,400 before they spawned, and that was the longest amount of time before they've spawned in. So we probably have about 50, 40 years on average before they spawn in, and by then we will almost certainly have at least one ring world and at least the Dyson Sphere up and running. So that is our goal, to have the ring world for our population to continue their research, or just get me more and more money, since they are really good for money as well, and to have the Dyson Sphere going so that we can have even more energy. If you have enjoyed today's video, then of course, likes, favourites, shares, comments, all that good stuff helps out me, helps out the channel, and most importantly, shows that Stellaris is a series you wish to see continued in the future. In the next episode, more megastructures, and we're going to attack the Chroniclers. They have research that will really help out our business. So naturally, we must take it. And since they won't do it peacefully, well, we have a Federation fleet. Thank you, and goodbye.